Morning. Right, I put a building in this one, just a very simple barn on a moor, an English moor. I'll make up the landscape. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but once I start, something happens, or hopefully something happens. I've got my palette here. It's lemon yellow, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, light red, ultramarine, burnt umber, Payne's grey and burnt sienna. This display tray here, very, very expensive. I buy them online. Well, it sounds as if I buy a lot online, but I don't. I bought a couple. I think from an outfit called the Doll's House in the UK, in I think Devon. But they were about £6 for two, including the postage, so that was pretty good. I've also got the large butcher's tray that Ron Ranson used to use, or still uses, I hope. This is Fabriano, £130. The method I use, as you know, is the Ron Ranson big brush watercolour, same as Stephen Cronin. This is where I started by making a breakthrough with watercolour many years ago when I bought the original Ron Ranson big brush watercolour books. I don't copy his stuff. It was just the encouragement to persevere with this large brush. It does so much, but it can be very infuriating because it holds a lot of water for the unwary, and if you're not careful, you can put what you think is a nice heavy wash turns out to be very weak. And bearing in mind that watercolour does lighten well, it lightens as it dries, and of course it is prone to fading if you keep watercolours in direct sunlight. But these colours are cotton watercolours. They're large tubes of 21mm mils. It's quite a lot. You get a lot for your money with these. Don't buy the small tubes. Or you can use artist quality, but you don't need to. They're much more expensive than these, and the idea is to get you painting rather than spend loads of money. The Fabriano, I've just bought another block of 100 15 by 11 inch sheets from Grantham's Art Discount, and with postage it was about £37, and since I still had some money left in my PayPal virtual bank from a painting I sold to Sweden, it didn't work out very expensive. Well, it did, but that sort of money for 100 sheets of watercolour paper, it's very good for wet in wet. I wouldn't promote it for anything other than that, but it's a really good piece of equipment. Clips and this old a bit of board was an old, I think, side of a wardrobe or a shelf in a wardrobe, and a box easel, a big pot of paint, a pot of water. Away we go. So, wet the paper all over. Don't want it swimming with water, just covered. It will soak into the paper, which you can then stretch. You don't need to stretch this before you paint. The paper will grow as it absorbs the water, and we can just gently re-clip it, stretch it out. Now, I'm not a great lover of blue skies. I like nice, warm, cloudy type skies with plenty of light shining through, a bit of alizarin. Just bring those colours into the foreground over everything there. Right, now we'll put some cloud in. I'm going to use alizarin and Payne's grey. There we go. I'll just go back with a bit of deeper colour. I'm using a bit of blue in that. So that hopefully will give us some nice light in the sky with quite a dramatic clouds, but we'll wait and see. So I'll just dry that off. I'll just fix it. I do this mainly so that I can carry on with the painting. Okay, it's not bone dry. I'm going to reclip the paper, but what I want to do now is to put in like a Kent Hill. Kent, for those who don't know, is a beautiful English county in the southeast of England, and we've been there many times on holidays with our trailer tent, which I've now sold because it's getting too heavy to put up at my age now. And we would go around Kent on the buses, which for us oldies is free in England. It's a wonderful thing to have, wonderful concession, and we do appreciate it, and it helps stops us using our cars and clogging the roads up. And going around on a double-decker bus is a wonderful experience in Kent when you're not pressed to get to an appointment or meeting or do paid work. We just enjoy the countryside. When I'm driving, I can't see anything. Especially in the countryside, you're hemmed in by hedgerows, which are very lovely, but you can't see. But from the top of a bus, wonderful, wonderful. Take photographs on the way. So I'm going to put in a cool background. So I want a bit of blue. And a little bit of Payne's grey. So let's just a bit more water on the brush, I think. Right, okay. Let's undulate it a little bit. There's a wonderful grey called Neutral Tint. I think it's Winsor & Newton colour. I used to use it a lot instead of the Payne's grey. It was a wonderful distant colour. That's right. Let's put a bit of warm in now. I'm going to put a tree in there. Bit of burnt umber, just dark. Right, now a bit of green. It's a bit of countryside here. Bit of yellow, nice rich green. Green with Payne's grey and lemon yellow. Okay, now we can let that dry off a little bit, I think. Just having a look, see what's going on there. Well, I'll give that a dry. Mute. And I can texture this. So I'm going to put some sort of trees on the background now. Winter, of course, light winter. A bit darker than that, I think. We can put one here. Right, that'll do, and a bit on here. Roland Hilder was a master of this sort of thing. Have a look at his stuff on YouTube or Google Gallery or two. Right, now a bit of dark green on there, I think. Just a bit of blue in there. Just making this up, it doesn't exist in reality, it's just a quick made up sketch. Nice rich warm dark, and I'll make warm darks from either ultramarine, burnt umber, maybe I should have put that right under that, where I'm going to put the trunk of that tree. It's just a bit too symmetrical, isn't it? No, let's just change that a little bit. Let's bring this up here. Okay, that's not so bad. Right, the nice little bits of flicks and flourishes. Right, nice and simple. Nothing too elaborate, just rough ground. Okay. Now I'm going to put in a bit of fencing, just to add a little bit of something, bit of detail. When you do this, don't make it too obvious. That's just a bit overdone. But anyway, that's fairly dry now. I just want to go over that roof now. So we have a bit of a ready roof. Now what I'm going to do is just to wet it all over there, that loose house. So I want it a bit mergy. We'll let that merge for a moment. Some trees, that line of Right, okay, we don't want to be too elaborate, slightly silhouetted. Just little bits in the top here, so leave some breaks in the foliage. Don't put too much in. That'll do for a moment. Right, now, a bit of red. Now, a good roof colour is a bit of umber. I only want just a little bit of a suggestion. Okay. Just try and keep this all nice and soft. If that doesn't quite work, I can lift out a bit, but that I want more light, so let's just clean that up a little bit. And we'll put a little bit of a ridge across the top here. Right, now a bit more rigger work in here. Keep away from the and probably merge a bit, that doesn't matter. Okay, right. Those posts have spread a little bit, haven't they? Just thicken them up a bit. Right, nearly there. Okay, let's put a couple of windows in. And yeah, sorry if I'm masking you. Let's just oh, okay, what's that? That roof is quite. I need to rough it up a bit, so I'll wait for it to dry. Well, it doesn't get much more simple than that, does it? I'll just dry it off. I want to take that tree up a bit higher because it's closer to the foreground than those background ones. So just a bit of burnt umber, bit of grey. thought we left alone, that was. Right, okay, let's put in some rough stuff on that roof. I'll use the hake if I can. I'll put just a bit of burnt umber and a bit of grey. No, I don't think that works, does it? Let's just rough it up a bit more. Right, okay, that'll do. I've just put a little bit of red on there. And a bit of umber on that side. Right. Just finish this tree off. I think I've just got a bit heavy there, haven't I? But never mind. Right, gonna let that go. I'll sign it, put it in a mount, and we'll have a look, see if there's anything going for it. Right. I'll put in the blue mount, slightly darker. Oops. Well, there we are. That's a very simple one, isn't it? For a Monday morning, anyway. Let's bring you around. I've tried to keep the background cool and the foreground coming into more warm, but I think that's just got a little bit heavy there. Sorry about that. But the rest of it, it's just simple wetting wet. There's a bit too much bleeding there. I was a bit impatient. I think it might have been better to have used the 1/2 inch flat for those. They're spread out a bit with the hake. But anyway, the foreground, it doesn't get more simple than that. You can always do some. A good green is lemon yellow, burnt umber, and Payne's grey. Just a little bit, it just says grass, although the colour says that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.